This girl is too tough. Her hands were so strong that she removed the door of the plane and then jumped straight off the plane. The pilot exclaimed, "You don't have a parachute." Not waiting for the pilot to finish, the man also jumped off. The goat was shocked. "Do you want to die?" The two men fell rapidly from the air towards the ground. They smashed into the yellow sand. They were none other than Arthur and Anna. In the desert, Anna took the indicator to the location of the clue. Arthur suddenly plunged into the sand. Anna also jumped in with him. The two of them came to the lost country by mistake. This was the place where the trident was built. There was a mechanical disc in front of them. Anna inserted the clue given by the teacher, inserted into the gears of the disc. Then she took a drop of water from Arthur's head, put it on top of the clue. The mechanical gears began to move. Then a projection came out. It was a projection of the King of Atlantis holding a trident. He said, "The trident is in the dark sea at the edge of the world, and the map of the route is in the bottle." But only the king could see it. Arthur took out the sheepskin from the bottle. "See, the place they are going to is Sicily. It seems that this place seems to have a beautiful woman." The lovely Anna was eating flowers. He asked Arthur to try them too. No matter how to say, "Where there are roses, there is love." Two people ate the rose of love, and there was love. They came to the monument at the top of the hill. Arthur put the bottle on the statue of the king. Looking through the mouth of the bottle, a new clue was finally found. But just then, the king's pursuers were coming. The pursuer's weapon was full of high technology. With just one glance, they knocked Arthur away. His skin, which had never been injured, was actually burned. His body was also pierced by the opponent's short blade. Finally, he was directly knocked off the cliff. This side of Anna also began to fight. She quickly took out the three soldiers in front of her. Then she fled down the mountain. In a wine store, she was caught by one of her pursuers. In a panic, she pulls the control switch of the pursuer. Water gushes out. The soldier couldn't breathe properly. Then he sees a toilet. He hurriedly sticks his head into the toilet. It's so comfortable. Two more pursuers came. Meera saw the broken wine. As long as there was water, she has a way to fight the enemy. She swings her hands. She stands back. Bottles of wine are breaking. The red wine converges into a sharp sword towards the pursuer. Pursuer fell to the ground and died, and Arthur was also knocked to the ground. Facing the strong enemy in the air, he pulled out two huge stone balls. He waved and threw them at his opponent. The chain in the middle of the ball was tied to the neck of the opponent. The huge inertia also sent the enemy flying to the bottom of the cliff. The two of them rented a fishing boat. They set off for the trail. Late at night, the boat arrived in the trench country. Anna was relaxing on the boat. A sea monster suddenly climbed onto the boat. The pirate is a degenerate human. They were vicious. They were born with sharp claws just to kill. Arthur rushed over to a stick. The monster actually ignored. Instead, Arthur was pinned underneath. And then another monster came at the boat. Anna was no longer timid. She swung a column of water at the monster. The monster was knocked back into the sea. Before she could catch her breath, another monster came behind her. Arthur also killed the monster on top of him. One or two they could handle, but there were more and more sea monsters. This was more than they could handle. Arthur ran into the cabin to get some torches. Because sea monsters are afraid of fire. They did not dare to go near the place where there is fire. The two men jumped into the sea with torches. The sea was full of sea monsters, and it looked a little scary. Eventually, they ran out of torches, but they could not shake off the monster's pursuit. There is a lightning prey sea monster ahead, afraid to approach, forced to the two people, hand in hand. They ventured into the lightning. Anna was ejected from a small hole. Delirious, she floated in the water. A large shark rushed forward, biting Anna with its mouth wide open. Suddenly the shark is knocked away. Anna is saved. At that moment Arthur also emerged from the water. What is this place? It's so beautiful. Is it a fairyland? No. This is the dark sea in the heart of the earth. When Arthur ran to the shore, he found that the person who saved Anna was the mother he had longed for. Mother and son were separated for 20 years. Now they were finally together. When his mother was trapped in the trench country, she was also desperate. She escaped by diving into the lightning. Arthur told his mother. His father would walk to the end of the bridge every day, waiting for his mother to come back every day. This mother told Arthur, the portal here won't let anyone out, and that the trident was the only way out. But but the monster was guarding it, and it's right behind the waterfall. To save his mother, for the safety of the land, Arthur was ready to go. He had to meet the legendary monster. When Arthur arrived in front of the golden trident, he was also struck by the divine object, and then the earth shook and the mountains shook. A huge monster appeared. He despised the half-breed. Arthur was kicked like a ball and let the monster play around. Just as the monster was about to shoot him, he was able to communicate with the monster's spirit. The monster was surprised that Arthur could talk to him, because for thousands of years, except for the first king who could communicate with him, only the half-breed in front of him, although he didn't think much of him, because no one can take the trident, so he agreed to Arthur to try, and then eat him up. Arthur reached out his hand and held the trident, and with a great effort, he pulled it out. The King of Atlantis turned into energy, into the trident, and the divine power of the trident threw Arthur's golden pupils into his body. Various control abilities were also transmitted to Arthur's brain. A golden circle of light spread out to countless spaces. The new generation of Sea King was officially born. King Aum of Atlantis is very powerful. Because the king of the Fishman country refused to submit, he directly stabbed the king to death. He told the young princess to order the troops to attack the saltwater kingdom. Aum's goal was to unify the 7 kingdoms. Then he would launch a general attack on the land humans. He wanted to lead Atlantis to a new glory. The saltwater are some fierce crab people. The two sides engaged in a spectacular battle. Just as the saltwater nation was about to lose the battle, ORM was suddenly knocked out of the sky. A monster covered in lava emerged from under the ground. It was a supersized monster. On top of his head stood Arthur with a golden trident in his hand. Thousands of warplanes were like moths to a flame. They crashed into the giant monster. The monster rose up in the air and started to slaughter, facing tens of thousands of shark core. Arthur held the trident in his hand to control the shark's action. The shark began to bite and kill its master. Countless species of fish in the sea also gathered behind Arthur. They collectively launched an attack on Aum. Anna, in order to avoid unnecessary casualties, she suggested Arthur to fight with ORM alone. In order to encourage Arthur, Anna gave Arthur a love encouragement. This scene also needs to be accompanied by beautiful fireworks. Isn't it a bit of a waste? Arthur controls a sea dragon. He marched through a hail of bullets. ORM also through the thick of the siege, coming towards Arthur. Once again, the two brothers dueled. Only this time Arthur draws ORM to the surface. He wanted to take advantage of the right time, the right place, and the right people. By now all the fighting had stopped. Everyone was waiting for the outcome of the duel. From the very beginning, Arthur pressed Aum to fight, but he could not defeat him. Arthur used the technique taught by his master. He threw the trident directly. ORM was knocked to the ground. Arthur flew up in the air again. He caught the trident in the air and hit Aum hard. The weapon in ORM's hand broke into pieces. Arthur didn't kill him, but ORM could not accept defeat. He asked Arthur to kill him. That's when his mother appeared. ORM hadn't seen his mother in 20 years. He was also very excited. With his mother's persuasion, ORM gave up his ambition. Arthur became the new king of Atlantis. The war stopped here and now. In the morning, Arthur's father walked as usual, walking towards the long bridge, but suddenly his eyes lit up. His wife magically appeared on the other side of the bridge. The two of them ran and embraced each other. They had waited for a long time for this day. I've been waiting for a long time for my beloved. Just a short sentence, you are back. How much love has been expressed.